Hey, what's up guys? In this video we are going to be talking about an extremely active period of severe weather that really starts today and will go through to at least Sunday. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into this video. So first off, if we take a look here at a day one outlook, you can see the Storm Prediction Center has a small slight risk area that extends from just east of Lubbock, Texas down to Abilene, Texas, and you do have a marginal outside of that. If we take a look at the hazards here, the tornado today, less than 2% of all areas. Tornado threat isn't zero, but it is close. Not expecting any tornadoes today at all, but it's crazier things have happened, but I don't expect today to be much of anything. Wind, we do have a 15% here in the same area we have the slight. And for the hail, we actually do have a 15% hatch risk for some potential significant hail, and that would include places like Vernon, Texas. So if we go ahead and just very briefly take a look here at today's setup on the HRRR model, you can see it tries to have storms initiate here about 5 p.m. 22Z, 5 p.m. Here's 6 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, they start to really diminish, and by 8 o'clock, there they are. 9 gone. Look how small they are, though. They don't get very big in terms of storm size. Maybe they get a little bit bigger than this, but I don't anticipate storms lasting for very long if we get storms today down there in Texas. Definitely will be a wind threat, a hail threat, maybe a wind threat. Again, we just aren't anticipating any tornadoes out of this particular setup. So to emphasize, out of this setup, not expecting tornadoes. Alright, so if we take a look here at our day 3. For day 2, we only have a marginal, and we're just going to talk about day 3 for now. Day 3, we do have an enhanced risk, and they just changed this 30 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago. They did a special day 3 change, which is an extremely rare thing to happen. You don't usually get a day 3 upgrade or even a downgrade in the middle of the day. Usually day 3 will only get changed once a day, and they went ahead and changed it early. So we do have an enhanced risk here for portions of Kansas down through the Oklahoma Panhandle, down through the Texas Panhandle, and into western Oklahoma. And if you look at the probabilistics here, you can see a 30% hatched of severe weather. All hazards would be possible here. Wind, hail, tornadoes will all be possible anywhere in this 30%, and it is this hatched. But even here, anywhere in this light, I believe tornadoes and all hazards will be possible. But especially in this area where there's heightened potential and greater confidence of that happening. So if we do actually go ahead and take a look here at Thursday, this is at 0Z, so this is about 7 o'clock p.m. Thursday night. You can see we have a nice warm sector here, dew points into the 60s, potentially even the mid 60s, and even up into portions of Kansas here we have 60 to 63 degree dew points. So dew points not going to be an issue this time around like we had last week, where obviously not much happened over there due to a lack of moisture. If you look at 500 millibar winds, you can see we have 50 to 55 knots here, 50 to again 55 knots across much of the risk area. That even does include the slight risk as well. If you look at the 850 millibar winds, this is your tornado fuel. These are the winds about a mile above your head. You can see 30 to 35 knots. Maybe we hit 40 in some spots. So definitely have a modest low level jet here. It's nothing too crazy, especially when you compare it to the next couple of days, which we'll look at here in a little bit. But definitely still enough to, at least get some severe weather, maybe some tornadoes. There's a tornado threat every day, basically Thursday through Sunday. So as we'll get to it a little bit. So if you look at our instability here, you can see we're sitting at 2,000 to 2,200, 1,500, I'd say 1,300 to 1,500 joules anywhere in these grays, but anywhere in these yellows are going to be your 2,000 upwards to maybe 3,000 joules. But really, you're going to stay in the 2,000s here. Then again, anywhere in these grays, a little bit more modest instability, only in the 14 to 1,500s. Certainly, though, enough to get some storms. If we take a look here at the cap, and this is, of course, what could potentially prohibit storm development, you can see the cap is pretty strong here at minus 140 to 160. Out of all of the days coming up, Thursday is the most conditional, as there exists maybe 2 capped, and will potentially keep any storms development suppressed, which could end up helping aid in Friday setup potentially, if storms are able to not, if storms hold off and that cap can hold for any significant amount of time. If we take a look here at the supercell composite, you can see we got values of 10 to 17. I saw 17 in this somewhere. 10 to 15. There's a 17 in the panhandle there, and 18. So anywhere in these yellows here is going to be your greatest potential of supercells. But even anywhere in these grays, you could certainly get some. It would just take a little bit more to get supercells in that area. The most likely scenario is we get supercells developing anywhere in these yellows, and then they move off into those grays. If we take a look at a significant tornado parameter, you can see, and it's been bullseyeing this over pretty much since all day yesterday. Really likes the Texas Panhandle right here for your greatest tornado potential Thursday. I do believe if we have tornadoes Thursday, certainly they will be in the Panhandle. You can see we got nice curvature of the photographs here, favorable for supercells. Got a good wind profile here. Gonna have backed winds, which is gonna be helpful again for supercells, potentially tornadoes. So any supercells that may potentially fire here, if we get storms here, the strongest storms are gonna be in the Texas Panhandle and into western Oklahoma. And that's where your tornado potential is going to be maximized. Again, though, Thursday does have a big if with it. It is a more conditional day due to the capping. But if we do get storms, watch out for any in the Texas Panhandle, as that is going to be your greatest tornado potential. Potentially could have 1 or 2 strong ones in there. Definitely anywhere in the reds and certainly in the purples. Alright, so I don't think I was supposed to. Oh, well, anyway. So if we move this over here to day, I'm all over the place. Excusez-moi. Alright, so if we go ahead here and look at our day 4, I haven't done a video in a minute, so I'm all discombobulated. Alright, so if we look here, we do have a day 4 15%, and it's a big one. It extends all the way from Waco, Texas, all the way up into Des Moines, Iowa. And this will be for your Friday. So if we move this on along to Friday, you can see Cape values here, 24 to 2700 joules. So got a good amount of instability and stuff here. 35 plus to 50 plus knots potentially of shear, so got good shear. Storms won't have too much of a problem rotating anywhere in this instability axis here. And actually I'm going to take this all the way out here so you can see just how far this instability axis actually does go into the southern portions of Iowa here, through Missouri, through Arkansas, through portions of Louisiana, down through most of Texas. So have a big instability axis, and in fact you can also see just how big the swarm sector is here on this these dew points. Got dew points potentially approaching 70 in portions of Oklahoma, and you got 60s all the way up into Iowa. So Friday could be interesting. I do anticipate that the greatest severe weather risk is going to be on this side of things, as here in Oklahoma we will actually be behind the main exit region for the troughing. So we could get storms, but I think the greater likelihood is going to be out here, out to the east. Alright, so that is your Friday. Again, I do think we have tornado potential with this, but it's probably just a little bit high. It's going to be higher here into the wider area of dew points here. I think this is going to be anywhere in here though could have tornado potential, so that is definitely something to watch. So if we take a look here at day 5, this is Saturday. This, in my opinion, is going to be the highest end day we have. There we go. In my opinion, Saturday is going to be our highest end day. I do believe if there's going to be a day where we have tornadoes and potentially quite a few tornadoes, it will be Saturday. You can see here this is 21Z, so this is 4 p.m. Anywhere in these yellows here are Cape values of over 3,000, so very good instability here. Potentially even some extreme instability of over 4,000 joules here in Texas. So plenty of fuel for these storms, and this is after the environment potentially being worked over for 2 days. Although I wouldn't be surprised if the cap holds Thursday. Friday, at least for the southern plains, would be more of a very early morning threat, so 1 to 4, maybe 1 to 7 a.m. before that threat would really move east as we get that troughing further out. So the cap may very well hold Thursday and Friday, which would likely allow these instability values to be even higher than expected. But here, if you look here, we have 70 knots here right out the exit region of the trough, 50 plus knots here at the 500 millibar level. If we take a look at the 850 millibar level here, you can see we have 40 to 45 knots here, potentially maybe 50 in some spots. Trying to get this video done quickly because I gotta get back to DoorDash and making some money so I can chase Saturday, Friday potentially if we get storms. Again, here's your instability. So now if we move this over to 7 o'clock, I want you to see something here. So this is now 7 o'clock. Notice our instability has gone away. It's still, especially for 7 o'clock, pretty decent. 2,400 joules. Still got over 40 knots of shear. So one thing I want to take your attention to now is very quickly we'll look at the 500 millibar. This is the upper level jet stream, so this is well up in the atmosphere here. You can see now really here where the end of that trough is. Yeah, 60 plus knots, potentially 90 knots, and then over here you're gonna have, you know, good storms here, 50, 60 knots. If you look at the 850 millibar winds here, look at this jet stream really amplifies. Again, this is your tornado fuel. These are the winds a mile above your head. 50 to potentially 60 knots anywhere in this red. Again, with Cape values where they are, shear still good. Once this low level jet kicks in, it's going to really increase the tornado threat. I think even at 4 p.m. when our low level jet kind of looks like this, still 40 to 45 knots, that's plenty when you couple it with our dew points as well. When you couple it with our dew points of potentially pushing 70, our 500 millibar winds are good, our 850 millibar winds are modest as well, and obviously our pretty high instability here. I do anticipate that from that 4 to 7 time frame, the 3,000 plus joules of Cape will be enough to sustain a tornado threat. And as we get later into the day and instability kind of dies down, but that low level jet really ramps up, that's going to sustain the tornado threat as well, despite lower instability levels. So I think overall, Saturday has highest ceiling. Saturday has the most potential, I think, to be the bigger day in terms of tornadoes and all hazards. As of now, several tornadoes appear to be possible for Saturday. So that is something we will definitely be keeping an eye on as we go further here. So now if we take a look here at Sunday, you see big wide area here of instability of over 2,000 joules. Let's bring this all the way out. You can see potentially 3,000 joules here in Texas. So again, another day where we just have a whole bunch of instability. If you look at our winds here, you can really get a good idea. Definitely gonna have higher potential here, more north than the previous few days. But again, really anywhere in here could potentially get severe weather, but especially anywhere here in these reds. If we look at the 850 millibar winds, you can see highest here in Missouri, potentially, of over 50 knots. And of course, there's that instability again. Highest values. If we take a look here at our supercell composite, just to get an idea, bam, your greatest ingredients are going to be anywhere in these oranges here, and especially where that red is. So, could have another potential big day on tap Sunday as well. However, Saturday right now, to me, has the highest potential. It has the highest ceiling out of all the days, but all of these days could produce all hazards. And if we take this out further here, I will take things out to about the second. You can see just keeping that instability in here. Instability is not everything though. If you don't have any of the other ingredients, it doesn't matter how unstable you are. But we're just looking at signals here on where instability lies, and you can see here on May 2nd, well, again, we're only going to take this out to the 3rd. Got some good ingredients here. If we take this out to May 3rd, big day in weather history, right? Bam, got some instability that runs all the way down from Texas through Oklahoma, and it really maxes out here in the plains, but this is much too far out to really get into specifics, but are seeing signals that this severe weather pattern, that this active pattern of severe weather, is likely to continue. So no signs of it really slowing down anytime soon. So there's going to be a lot of content, a lot of videos from me. I mean, look at this. It just keeps going non-stop, and it's hitting the same areas all the way out. So that's all I got for you guys. I know this video was kind of all over the place, trying to just get it done as quickly as I can because I'm running behind on things today. So sorry about all that. But anyway, if you want more in-depth, slower, videos here where I really go in-depth about everything anywhere where that severe weather threat lies, make sure to go down to the Twisted Pond Attack Chasing Facebook page. The link is in the description below, where you will get in-depth forecast discussions. I will be doing my first actual real video forecast discussion on that page today. It will be later tonight, probably about 9-10 p.m. Central. So I'll probably go up 11 o'clock or so. So stay tuned for that. That's where all my really long videos are gonna go. Videos over there may end up surpassing an hour sometimes, especially in situations like this where it's just so active. So that's all I got for you guys today. Drop some likes on this video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload from me. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a much more organized video. Pieces.